Diverse.
Ghetto?
Oh, home. You can't describe it with one word.
Dirty.
Disadvantaged.
Ghetto.
Ghetto.
Hectic.
Diverse.
Diverse.
Open.
Home of the party in the tree. Sunny land of the G's. Please let a nigga breathe. Tank top down for the breeze. Burnt lips got a blood full of.
On June 25, 2014, Intersection South Los Angeles, a news and opinions media outlet from South Los Angeles, published an article by journalist Kylie Morgan in which she writes, "Some people say South Central, others prefer South LA, and still others use both names to describe the neighborhood south of the 10 freeway that runs along the side of the 110, historically one of the most poor and violent areas of Los Angeles."
The three police officers facing felony criminal charges were among a group of 15 who stopped a 25-year-old black man last Saturday night, then beat him, kicked him, and clubbed him, unaware that an amateur photographer was recording the incident on videotape.
On April 10, 2003, in an article published by the New York Times written by journalist Calvin Sims, he reports on the effort the Los Angeles City Council goes through to rebrand South Los Angeles. And I quote, "The council voted unanimously today to rename this 16-square-mile district South Los Angeles as part of an effort to erase the image of South Central as the scene of race riots in 1965 and 1992, and the setting for films featuring gangs and drug dealers like Training Day, Colors, and Boys in the Hood."
To take off the negative stigma, the people who live here don't have the negative stigma that the world puts on it. It's the other people who don't live here that feel that way. This is a community-based. Everybody that lives in South LA is just like everybody that lives in every other neighborhood. Hard-working people, people who love their community, who love their homes, who love the people that live next door to them. You know, we're all neighborly.
On April 21, 2015, the Los Angeles Times published an article written by contact reporter Angel Jennings, in which she describes the name change from South Central to South Los Angeles and the benefits it has brought to the communities. And I quote, 12 years ago, residents on Los Angeles' South Side complained that their neighborhood had become synonymous in popular culture with gangs, murder, drugs, and despair. So they got the Los Angeles City Council to rechristen South Central as South Los Angeles, hoping change would remove the stigma. Since then, the area experienced something of a rebirth. Crime has fallen substantially, and some streets are cleaner and offer much better shopping options. In an interview with Tanya Good, head of security at the Roy Anderson Recreation Center, a facility within the Los Angeles Exposition Center, speaks on the negative stigma of South Los Angeles.
You say you're from South LA. It's a big stigma around South LA. The media has blown it up to be this most negative place to live, and it's not that exactly. I mean, you have to be from South LA to understand what goes on here. This is a place where people work hard and play harder, you know. They want to change their community, but when you got the nation looking at you as the worst place in America to live, then, you know, you want to adapt to that, but you know that you can't, you know. But it's a beautiful place to live. You got to come here and spend some nights.
No matter how bad it is on these streets, I know that there's always going to be an overwhelming sense of pride here in South Central. I grew up here and I'm proud that I did. I learned to swim here at the Expo Center, and they do so much to help the youth. It's amazing. During the summer is when they're most active with their outreach. They try to get at-risk youth to join the free or low-cost programs that are offered, such as the camps, the lifeguard programs, or the sports teams, just in an effort to keep the youth away from the streets. In a way, it's very humbling to have walked and grown up here.
Like, the news only shows the bad stuff, like shootings or stuff against the cops, or I don't know if any of you guys I mean, if you heard of the KKK riots and stuff like that, or the anti-riot, and it's just there's more to it. There's more. That's just the inner, like that's just this much of I don't know, like this much of what this is. They're not getting to the core basically of South LA. I feel like it's literally just the outer parts. If you move more into the city, you'll see that everybody's very neighborly, very friendly.
On August 29, 2014, Deborah King, director of the Friends of the Exposition Center, was interviewed by the City of Los Angeles Recreation and Parks Department. She explains in detail a youth program aimed towards helping at-risk youth in learning more about the workforce.
The Summer Youth Job Corps training program is important to the youth that we serve because it's one of the only places where they can get the really critical skills and opportunities that they receive here. We're located in one of the most underserved communities in Los Angeles, with one of the highest rates of unemployment. And so one of the most important ways we can serve this community is with job training.
In the past, where everybody is pretty much separated, nobody messed with anybody, and like now there's a lot of diversity now. Like a lot of other minorities are moving into South LA, and we're accepting them with open arms because we're not as judgmental as we were back then. And I feel like everybody is just connecting as one, and that's how I feel like it's open.
You gotta learn to hold your own. They get jealous when they see you with your mobile phone.
It's very hard to combat something that exists, like gang violence. Gang violence is very real. Gangs are very real. Poverty, you know, people being poor, that's real too. So yeah, you could educate, and you could possibly better the youth. And because the people that were older, or the people that were younger a few generations ago, they're the older cats now. And so, like, I guess our generation is the one that should take that responsibility of speaking to the younger generation coming up, because that's the only way we can affect change.
I think slowly the community is making change for the better. I think if the community really wants to make a change where the whole world could see it, is to merge is to merge the whole counties, such as South LA, West LA, East LA, and make it all Los Angeles, because we're not just a division. We're not separated. We have LA pride. You know, we all have LA pride.